Hi there, my name is Flair, and today I am back on the floor of my closet, re-recording, just redoing in general my previous video. If you guys remember, if anybody here has seen my last video, you remember I did a redesign of Ayano from, is that how you say her name? Is it Aishi? I did a redesign of the main character from Yandere Simulator because it was a trend, and now it is no longer a trend, but I am redoing the video again. Why? My previous design it felt rushed. I went with my first draft of the design. I wasn't very high quality. The drawing was kind of shitty and poorly proportioned, and overall I just wasn't really proud of it. So I want to redo the design, but I want to show the actual work that I put into concept art and sketching when I'm seriously making a character design. Like when I actually put effort into a character design. I don't know if anybody here seen my art on Instagram. I'm not a very popular artist, but I primarily do character design work. It is my passion, TM. And I want to show off my process. Once again, just to reiterate from my last video, I desperately do not care if you want to harass me or insult me for the changes I made while designing this character. If you would have done something different, go make your own redesign, and if you don't want to see her redesign, don't watch the rest of the video. I'm open to constructive critique. Like, if you want to point out the fact that it makes no sense for Ayano to be wearing heels, that's fine, but I don't want to hear you bitch because I frankly could not give less of a damn. My version of Ayano is still gender fluid, but I'm focusing on their femme presenting design, because this video is already kind of long, and my last one had a lot of dead space where I didn't talk in it, so I want to be able to finish the drawing before I finish talking. So I'm just doing concept art for the feminine design, and I hope you guys are okay with that. Just know in my heart of hearts that Ayano is still non-binary. So yeah, I'm gonna go over my character design process in excruciating detail. Hope you guys are willing to listen. Actually, I don't care if you aren't willing to listen, just click off the video. Doesn't fucking affect me. Let's go. When I start with my character design, I start with just loose sketches to get a feel for what I want to do with the design, to get my design out of my head. I just put it on paper. Sketches are not very proportional. They're not very polished. They're not high quality by any means. They are kind of loose and just shitty, and they exist so that I can explore different possible designs and what I may want to do with the character, and to put things from my brain onto paper so that I can move forward and not have any potential things in future parts of the design that I could have explored or changed. I'm not explaining this very well. Second part of my process is I move on to a note-taking phase. So I start drawing much, much smaller, and I write down notes on what I want to do with the design. I start getting to the vibe of the silhouette for Ayano's silhouette. In this one, I went for this one that's kind of stacked trapezoids on top of each other. She almost kind of looks like a Christmas tree, which I wasn't going for, but it's the hard inorganic lines from the trapezoids, I feel, give her a sense of stiffness that makes her look less trustworthy, less friendly, and more dangerous. And I mentioned a little bit about shape design in my previous video, but I didn't really go into it because it's a very complicated subject, and likewise, I will not be going into it in this video either, and if you want to research that, please do research it, because it is interesting, and I will not do it any justice. I'm throwing my voice out right now. Ouch. Ugh. I have just the worst vocal fry in the universe. Anyways, I draw super tiny in this phase because I want to be able to fit a lot of information down. And at this stage, I was kind of torn between a softer look with a sweater vest, which would have more of rounded shapes to it, and a stiffer look with an angular button-down vest. And I did some brief color studies for each, And when I do color studies for designs, I usually turn to my friends and ask for their opinions, because outsider perspectives help me kind of step out of my own brain and consider how people will actually view my design, because character design is about conveying information to other people, and I want to be sure that other people can actually understand what information I am trying to convey. So my friends preferred the less colorful palettes, the ones labeled 1A and 2A respectively, and ultimately I do agree with them, because those designs feel the most grounded and like horror-y. That sounded like I said horror-y. And I agree with that, but I still like the lighter pink designs, because I feel like they're a bit more whimsical and iconic. Like, you could see a character wearing it and immediately know that that character is from a media property, like a specific media property, like how you could see the designs in Neon Genesis Evangelion. I don't know, maybe designs since then have copied that, but like you could see the uniform designs from Neon Genesis Evangelion and be like, oh, this is the Evangelion girl. You know, just by the uniform. So in the final version, I made versions of both 2A and 2B, and I put them side by side, and I'll let you decide which one you think looks better, but you're not allowed to tell me you dislike either of them, or I'll ban you from my comment section. This is not trying to be a more accurate version of a school uniform in Japan than what's in the... Oh no. I just bonked into something that's gonna have bad background noise. No. Anyways, it's not trying to be a more accurate version of a school uniform in Japan than what's in the actual proper game. I probably know exactly about as much as Yandere Dev about school uniform politics and culture and like the history of why uniforms look the way that they do in Japan. I probably know the exact same amount as him, so I feel like it would be disingenuous to say that my version is more accurate. I did a little research. Like, I know that the sailor-style uniform you see in the game is typically reserved for middle schoolers, while high schoolers tend to wear more, like, professional-looking uniforms with blazers and ties, and sometimes the button pinafores, like the one that I had in the last video, except the one that I had in the last video sucked and was shitty. But I'm not an expert, so my design isn't better than the one in the original game because it's more accurate. No, my design is better than the design in the original game because the choices I made in the design... I'm saying design too much. The choices I made in my design actually tell a story about the character. The Yansim character designs do not tell a story. They are, by definition, by the way that they are made, the most generic possible designs that they could possibly be. Because each character in Yandere Simulator is built from the exact same template, and I hope I don't have to explain to you why that's a bad way to design a large ensemble cast of characters, because there's nothing differentiating them other than the modeling work and the hairstyle. And what makes it even worse is that there isn't actually original modeling work on Ayano's hairstyle either. She has the default hairstyle for the Unity Assets Store anime girl. She's just not distinct at all from the rest of the characters. Her design needs to tell a story about who she is, why she is the way she is. It needs to tell you about her by looking at her. That's what a character design is supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to tell what the character is like by looking at them. So, I added details that made her stand out and gave her a personality. Like, for example, I added a lot of details into her hair to give her more personality. Like, there's a heart-shaped negative space in the part of her bangs. And her bangs also go over her eyes, which I find gives... I'm gesturing with my hands. You guys can't see my hands, but I'm gesturing because I'm a moron. But I made her bangs go over her eyes because I feel like that gives characters a more mysterious look to them. The little fringy tendrils in her hair are designed to look like stylized naginata blades. I think that's how you say it. It's, which is like a curved blade from the Japanese medieval period, I think. And her ponytail also kind of looks like a hooked blade or a glaive, which gives you sort of like the impression that she is dangerous if you are paying close attention to those details. And I also gave her bags under her eyes because I feel like characters who have bags under their eyes are usually manipulative schemers, or they're a little bit evil. I'm thinking like D.A. Sinclair from Invincible. If anybody knows who that is, you probably don't because everyone watching this video is a weeb. So L from Death Note, or that one fucking purple boy from MHA, I think his name is Shinso. And I also gave her boots, which is one of the things that I did that was purposefully inaccurate. because I know that Japanese students have indoor shoes that they change into when they come from outside to help keep the school clean, because it's their responsibility to clean the school. But I gave her boots because I wanted her to look like sturdy. Boots, the leather boots have like a sturdier vibe to them, like they're steel-toed boots that she could maybe like run around in and dig a grave with, or I don't know, climb through a hedge maze. There isn't really a lot of terrain in academy school, but you get the idea. I gave them high heels, though, because I don't know how to draw flat shoes. Anyways, what else did I have written down to say? At the end, when I finalized everything, I made some notes around the character, and I'll put some stills in of my notes so that you can read those, but they're basically just saying everything that I already said in the video, just so if you listened to me talking, you probably won't need to read them. So yeah, that is my redesign. I hope you like it, and if you don't comment, because I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it if you don't like my design. I simply do not want to hear it. Bye.